Bounty. Icarus and his father lived in a small apartment in a part of town that had been nice maybe 40 years ago. The inside of their home smelled strongly of wood, linseed, minerals, herbs, and canvas, so that's what Icarus smelled like too. The lights were all dim, specialized bulbs designed to reduce light damage to paint. There were landscapes and portraits, repeated theme. A woman in green brushed over and over, smiling, laughing, lying among them, her face an open secret. The only room where the walls weren't dotted with paint or paintings was the kitchen. In that room, where the sun was brightest, there were ferns in every corner that could house one. In a few years, when Icarus and his father didn't live there anymore, a little girl from the new family who moved in would tell her parents there was gold dust in the cracks of the wood, gold left over from years of gilding. They wouldn't believe her. It was an artist's house, a studio with beds, crammed full to bursting. Him. Icarus slipped in and closed the door. He slid across his own floors and made his way to the cold storage room. This room should have been Icarus's bedroom, but their art needed the space. Icarus swung the case off his back and prepared red linen for storage, delicately smoothing the paper out onto a backing its size, slipping it into a protective sleeve, labeling it in fine print, and placing it in a storage locker with other originals of its size and environmental temperament. "Is it undamaged?" Icarus whirled around. His father, Angus Gallagher, never wore special socks, but he was silent as death, always. "It's fine, I think," Icarus replied. "I didn't inspect it. The air felt heavy, like I wasn't alone." Admitting his negligence made him nervous. Angus grunted in disapproval and opened the storage unit. Icarus stood there, cheeks blazing, as his father undid all of his work, pulling red linen back out into the light. He scrutinized the print, sniffed it, peering closely at the detail with the small, retractable microscope he kept on a loop at his waist as Icarus waited. When he was finally satisfied, he resealed the painting. "This is one I've seen in person. It was one of the first Mr. Black purchased. He had it in his room when we were in school." Angus trailed off without elaborating further. "I'll re-review security around the perimeter of the building. We'll break for 2 weeks, then start again if there aren't any discrepancies. Anything else out of the ordinary?" "No, sir," Icarus said, eyes to the floor. Angus Gallagher hummed low in his throat, then thrust an envelope under Icarus's chin. "Your pay for the repair work you did on the frame of the Rothko. Spend what you need. Save what you don't." Angus left as quietly as he arrived. Icarus deflated with relief. Breath. Icarus's bedroom was a walk-in closet. He kept it very clean because he had to. There wasn't enough room for mess. The small space was taken up by his twin-size bed and the shelves that lined it. At the foot of his bed, the shelves were neatly packed with his books, trinkets, and work supplies. On the shelves at the head of his bed, his clothes were rolled tightly, military style, and organized by type and color. They were black or neutral, so that it wasn't noticeable that he didn't have a wide selection. All pieces of impeccable quality. When Icarus was 14, he had painted the ceiling of his closet bedroom the colors of the sunrise. Now that he was planning to leave, he was considering a repaint. Icarus tossed his backpack onto his bed and changed his clothes in the hallway. He crept into bed, closing the closet door behind him. The envelope his father had given him was bulky and exciting. Icarus spread out the stack of $50 bills and counted them quickly, separating out $1,000 for savings, $500 for new supplies. Normally Angus didn't give him this much, but his work was getting really good. He had taken his time, his cheeks pinked with pride. Icarus tucked most of the bills into his small safe and put the rest in his spending pile to be taken to the bank.